Welcome into the Analyst in the Armchair, an NFL podcast where one host is obsessed with stats and spreadsheets, and the other just really loves yelling at the TV on game day and has plenty of opinions. Together, Michelle and Nycole dive into player news, weekly matchups, and all the storylines you'll be talking about with your friends. Whether you're a hardcore or casual football fan, they've got something for you.
Welcome into the Analyst and the Armchair. I am one of your hosts, Michelle Majuk. I'm the analyst part of the show. This is Nycole Bernstein. She is the Armchair. And we are now on to week 11.
Yeah.
Weeks 9 and 10 were not kind to me.
To you.
Whatsoever. I have been on a real bad streak. A real bad streak of picking these games that we go through every week. I went 7-7 again last week. Which is very, very bad because we're not even taking them against the spread.
No.
I mean, we say if we like the spread or not, but
Sure.
Not ideal. And you went 10-4. You kicked my butt.
10-4. I'm crushing it.
Now you're only 2 games behind me for the season, and I was
right.
killing you.
I think you were up by 14 at one point? Is that dramatic?
I think that's a little dramatic, but I
Okay.
was up by so much.
It sounds better.
Yeah. I was up by at least 8.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're doing really bad.
I am.
And then fantasy, we didn't play each other, but
And I won.
you did win, but is it this week that you have to win to get into the playoffs?
Well, not to get in, but to have a shot of still making the playoffs.
Sure, that's fair. I am playing this week, our good friend Matt Okada, for sole possession of first place in our division. So
I don't know who to root for.
big game for me.
Might
How
root for
dare
Okada.
you? How dare you?
Okada's nicer to me.
Here's the thing. I don't think that's true, but I beat him really badly last time we played. Granted, everybody on his team decided to forget how to play football, so I'm hoping they do that again this week.
Yeah, well, your team stinks. My team's great. I just need to get into the playoffs. Now, today we have some news about quarterbacks that one could be back sooner than we expected. One is getting benched. A backup getting benched is really impressive. And Russell Wilson. We'll get to that. And then unfortunate news about Travis Hunter.
I know.
I think he's your dude. I don't know why.
Well, because I drafted him very high, I want to say, in our
He
draft.
had one good game, and then
he
got
had
hurt.
his little breakout game because they were like, "Oh, let's just keep the man on offense."
Yeah.
And then now he's out for the season. Luckily, it's not an ACL, but
Yeah, out for the season.
LCL, not great either.
Very unfortunate. So let's hop into the latest NFL news for our opening drive.
The opening drive.
We got shocking news out of Cincinnati. Like, all right. Are you
We're gonna have
making
to
fun
add
of
a
us?
sound effect or something. That was so silly.
It was shocking. I don't know if you're making fun of me or not. That Joe
Yeah.
Burrow is already, back at practice.
We love to see it.
Yeah.
We love it.
Back at practice before Brock Purdy. Guess Brock Purdy should have underwent surgery.
That's because that organization won't tell anyone anything ever.
So it seems like he went the right route about it. Back at practice, 21-day window open. So it doesn't mean he has to be back anytime soon in the games, but he's targeting a week 13 return.
Which would be very exciting going into the last chunk of the season. for the
Thanksgiving
Bengals.
return. Have fun.
Oh, that would be so fun.
I know.
And I miss him.
Yeah. And Joe Flacco's doing his thing, but at the same time, they're still 1-3 with Joe Flacco. So
Well, sure. I mean, they're not. I mean, to be fair, they had the bye week last week. We'll get into the game in a little bit, but I'm very excited if we get to see Joe Burrow again this season.
me too.
But if they keep losing, I don't know if they would risk it and he'd come back.
Yeah. And I can't root for them this week because they're facing the Steelers. So,
Well, I will be. So,
but I do
little
want him back
preview
just for
you.
like life in NFL and fantasy purposes.
Sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I
Now,
forgot how much I like him because he's just
know.
been gone.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anytime there's an elite quarterback out, it stinks for the league.
Mhm.
Now, Jameis Winston, if Jackson Dart does miss this week, he's in concussion protocol. It feels like he's going to miss it just because he's been in concussion protocol a couple times already in a short career. But it's not going to be Russell Wilson that's starting. It's going to be Jameis Winston.
Which I love.
Yeah. They fired Brian Dable. The Giants did, their head coach, and they're moving on to Mike Kafka, the play caller for the Giants. So that should be an easy transition for Dart when he is back. But Jameis Winston will make a lot more fun football to watch than Russell Wilson.
Oh, because he's going to throw the ball a ton. He's going to get a bunch of yards. He's going to get a bunch of touchdowns, and he's going to get a bunch of interceptions.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He'll
Yeah.
get some crazy turnovers. That will just be real fun.
Totally. Yeah. But I love that Russell Wilson, the backup, is now going to be the backup to the backup. It's my favorite. Not even the backup to the backup to the third string.
Yeah.
My favorite.
It's shocking they didn't at least try to trade away Russell Wilson before the trade deadline if they're going to have him as a third quarterback.
Who would want him?
I don't know.
The Steelers?
The Jets? Somebody?
Amazing.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm looking forward to Jameis Winston over Russell Wilson, if that's the case. It is
Oh.
against the Packers, though, so hard matchup.
Yeah.
Hard
Much
to-
more fun, though.
Yeah. If it was Russell Wilson, they would have scored 0 points. Now, bad news, Travis Hunter's out for the season. LCL surgery.
Mhm.
It does, we were just talking about this. Like it just stinks because he finally broke out. They finally were giving him all the targets,
Mhm.
and then he gets hurt at practice too. It
Right.
wasn't even in game.
That's like so frustrating. I mean, I know they can't control it, right? Like it just
Yeah.
happens, but like what a waste.
The Jaguars started so hot, and then they fell down
Yeah.
quickly,
Yeah.
and then your team beat them.
We will get to that.
Okay.
Don't worry. I am so excited to talk about it. But yeah, it's unfortunate in his rookie season. But it's good it's not an ACL, and we'll see, I guess, next year.
Yeah, next year.
Hmm.
That was a pretty disappointing rookie season, though, overall for Travis Hunter, who had all these
Oh.
aspirations to be either defensive rookie of the year or offensive rookie of the year. And it didn't even look like if he were to play the whole thing, he would have been even in consideration for either of those.
Right.
But yeah, unfortunate. All right, let's get into these week 11 games. I swear, guys, I'm going to be better this week. I'm not getting as crazy.
Don't hold your breath.
I got to be better. I have to be
Well,
better.
you have to be better. It's embarrassing at this point that this is your job.
All right, let's hop into these games.
Between the 20s.
We have two teams on bye, the Colts and the Saints. So missing one of the best teams in the league and the worst team in the league. One of the worst teams in the league.
One of, yeah.
So we'll miss the Colts this week. We will not miss the Saints.
Right. It's probably a good time for the Colts to have a bye week anyway.
Yeah, they were looking a little bit sluggish the last couple weeks. Now, the best game of the week is probably on Sunday night. There's a few contenders for best game of the week.
Yeah.
But this one, as long as the Eagles don't put up another stinker in prime time, it should be a great game. Lions versus the Eagles on Sunday night. I'm taking the Lions. You're taking the Eagles.
I am.
They are both towards the top of the NFC. The Eagles right now are the number 1 seed at 7-2. Lions are sitting at 6-3. But I do just think overall the Lions are the better team. And they're a much better offense.
See, I disagree. I mean, I just think the Eagles aren't playing to the Eagles' potential. Like this week, they look like they're having, or this season rather, they look like they're having championship hangover,
Mhm.
in my opinion.
Super Bowl hangover.
Right.
Championship hangover was a weird way to say that.
Well, it's the same thing. The Super Bowl is
It's
the
called the Super
championship.
Bowl hangover.
Yeah, but Super Bowl is such a silly name for it. So
It's
anyway,
literally the Super Bowl. It doesn't.
but
Never
it's silly.
Go.
Anyway,
Why do you think the Eagles are going to beat the Lions?
so I think this game comes down to defensive execution. We both know these are offensive powerhouse teams when their offense is clicking and jiving on all cylinders. So I think they have plenty of weapons offensively, the pass or the run for both of these teams. So I think that will be very fun to watch, unless it's like the game on Monday night where it was a defensive heavy game against the Packers last week for the Eagles. And it was so boring. It was so, and I love defense. I'm
Yeah.
somebody that loves defense, but oh my gosh.
That wasn't a fun defense game. It wasn't like there was turnover, like a bunch of
No,
turnovers and a bunch of sacks. It was just
felt like the
bad
longest football
offense.
game I've ever seen in
It's
my
such
entire
bad
Like
offense.
they went to halftime and I was like, it's only halftime?
Yeah.
Like this is not fun to watch. So I do think this will come down to defense. And honestly, the Eagles are coming off that really ugly win. So I think they've got to do something different offensively. They made some really weird choices on offense last week. But the Lions are tricky. I think they're tricky right now. They're in a really good position to upset, I will say. But, and obviously last week, Dan Campbell calling the offensive plays worked for them.
Okay. I need
don't-
to talk about that, but go ahead.
I'm just saying they're tricky. This is all I'm
Uh-huh.
saying. But I'm still going with the Eagles. I think they have the edge at home, and we'll see.
This my whole thing with Dan Campbell doing that. I'm like, did you you're like, ooh, the Commanders defense is the worst in the league, or one of the worst in the league. So I'm going to look really smart and take John Morton, their actual OC, would have done the same exact thing against the Commanders. Everyone's doing against the Commanders. That had nothing to do with Dan Campbell calling plays. I thought that was really silly. And now I'm actually kind of worried because if he tries to call plays again against the Eagles, I don't know if it's going to go as smoothly. Like, this is all silly to me and people talking it up. I'm like, yeah, if I was John Morton, I'd be like, you're doing it against
Yes, but
sophist
I think they
defense.
needed a change.
I
I
they're
really do.
already doing really
Really do.
well.
But they looked sluggish. They played the game the week
Vikings,
before
I
and
know, but that's
lost.
a divisional loss. It was different. Division games are hard.
I just think they looked meh.
Yeah, that's fine. And then we'll see what Dan Campbell can do, but he's a defensive coach, so whatever. We'll see. But my big thing, the difference in this game for me is just the run game. Like Saquon Barkley is not doing his thing this year. One good game so far this season. One good game to his standards, I should say.
Yeah.
It's
a nicer way to say that.
Yeah, he's literally only rushed for 100 yards in one game this year. He had 11 such games last season.
Oh, I know.
And he's not breaking off those long runs like we're used to. And now his big, I think it was a reception in this game against the Packers. That was the only reason they scored their one touchdown.
Oh, yeah. It was like 40 something
Yeah,
yards.
that was a nice play. But I think this Lions run game is obviously so much better. And I think that'll be the difference in this game that should be really close. And the Lions just have too many weapons. So I'm going with the Lions, even though they're on the road. They're 2.5-point underdogs, the Lions are. I like that. Taking that.
You're taking it.
Plus 2.5.
Well, I think the Eagles are going to win, so I would not. But
Yeah.
we'll see. It should be a really fun game to watch.
Yeah. And also, a lot of it comes down to weather, too. If it's really bad weather in Philly, Jared Goff cannot play in bad weather. So, I'll be wrong instantly if it's like snowing or raining or something in Philadelphia, which I have not looked at the weather forecast for.
Can't wait.
For Philly.
Well, it was
on Sunday.
snowing a lot of places last week.
In Philly, I mean.
We were wearing shorts.
In late
I
November.
think, so
Yeah, we were. All right. Next really good game, which I don't even know if this makes top 3 of the week.
I agree. I don't know.
There's some great games. I'm really excited for this game because it's 2 of my favorite quarterbacks. It's the Buccaneers against the Bills. And I personally hate that they're playing each other because that means one of them have to lose unless I tie. And that would be even worse. I don't want to tie. And they lost last week, both of these quarterbacks. I don't want either one of my guys, my babies, to lose this week. But I'm going with Josh Allen and the Bills because they're home. And the Bills need this win more than the Buccaneers, just honestly.
Why?
So before the podcast, she was like, I was looking through, the divisions. She's like,
I'm still learning them.
Well,
Leave me
no, I know
alone.
that was fine, but you were like, the NFC South is a joke. I'm like,
Well, it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
the Buccaneers are going to win that division, even if they lose this game.
Right.
The Bills, on the other hand, are a game and a half back to the Patriots.
Yeah.
The AFC has much stronger contenders at the top. The Bills need this win more, and at home they always win.
They were so bad last week.
They were.
I mean, so bad. I mean, I like to dog. I pick the Dolphins always when I'm going to dog on somebody. It's always the Dolphins. But like the Bills were so bad last week.
The game script went the opposite way. We thought the Bills were going to destroy them 30-13. Not.
I think we talked about it for 4 seconds last week because we were like, Bills win.
Yeah,
we were wrong. This one I was kind of like a toss up because I feel like Baker Mayfield, he lost the game going into bye. Is that right?
They've lost.
I think
2 of their last 3 games.
Yeah, they lost, went to bye, and then they lost again. So I feel like they're going to come out and Baker's going to be like, I got to win this game.
They lost 1, then went to bye, and then lost.
That's what I just said. You don't listen to me when I talk.
I don't think that's what you said. We'll go back and listen.
Okay.
Okay.
And okay. Drinks on you. Got it.
But now the Bills, so I'm saying the Buccaneers have lost 2 of the last 3. The Bills have lost 3 of their last 5. And it's 2 teams they shouldn't be losing to. 10 points to the Falcons. 17 points to the Dolphins.
The Dolphins, which I don't know what to make of the Dolphins.
But then they beat the Chiefs.
They beat them twice.
Who?
They beat the Bills twice this year.
No, the Patriots beat them.
Oh,
once.
the Patriots. That's right.
The Bills over the last 3 seasons are 26-3 at home. They are the only team that have fewer than 6 losses at home during that span. And all 3 losses at their home stadium have came by 3 or fewer points. They lost by 3 points to the Patriots earlier this year. They lost by 2 points to the Broncos in 2023. And they lost by 3 points to the Vikings in 2022. So that means they've lost 1 home game each of the last 3 seasons. I I'm rooting for Baker. I'll be rooting for both of these guys to do great. And Baker looked good again this last week after the bye. Mecca Ibuka looks fully healthy.
Mhm.
I just don't think they have the run game to beat up on the Bills like these other, like Bijan had, like Devin Achane had against the Bills to win.
Right. Yeah, I
And
think that's fair.
I think that's the difference there. So unfortunately, Baker Mayfield has to lose another game, but then he'll go through that cycle again where everyone's going to be doubting him, and then he'll be great.
You love those people.
Seahawks, Rams.
This should be a really good. This is top 3 games of the week.
But when I said this is the best one, was this the game you were thinking of as the best one?
I don't know. It's high up there.
Okay, because I know you're very, very excited for this one, and we have different picks.
We do.
I'm picking the Rams. You're picking the Seahawks.
Yeah.
They're both 7-2, and whichever team wins this game has a real shot at fighting for that number 1 seed, especially if the Eagles lose this week to the Lions, or one of those teams have to lose either way, which knocks down one of them for the chance to get the number 1 seed, right?
True.
So whoever gets this game has a real shot at it, and it's going to be really, really interesting. I'm happy that it's in LA. Even a lot of Seahawks fans will be there because it's in LA, and they'll travel there, but then also just LA doesn't have that many of their own fans in general. But I don't know what to think about the Seahawks team.
Okay.
Because I feel like they're frauds. But then at the same time,
oh my gosh, this again.
At the same time, they look so good. So tell me about the Seahawks, because I'm clearly biased because of my hate for Sam Darnold.
Sure. And that's fair. It's wrong, but it's fair. The Seahawks beat up on the Cardinals. I mean, in the first 2.
Okay, but the Cardinals stink.
Okay. Can I make my point, please? They beat up on the Cardinals. They're firing on all cylinders right now offensively, which is basically just JSN at this point. But Rashid, I knew I was going to mess it up. Rashid, and I even practiced today when I was writing it. I was like, Rashid Shaheed. He got like 1 target last week. They're going to obviously, I think he and Sam Darnold having the week to practice and all the things, they're going to be at least targeting him a little more. It's going to spread out
field more. Yeah.
Right. That's going to spread out this Rams defense a little bit. The thing I'm worried about for the Seahawks is that when they get up in games, they start getting sloppy. And it's like they can't continue to just like play well or whatever. They've had a lot of fumbles the last few games. So that's the part that I'm a little worried about against the Rams. And I will say, Matthew Stafford is balling. He's playing so well right now. But the Seahawks, they have to come at him, pressure him to get out of the pocket. He just does not do very well when he gets out of the pocket. Granted, he's so good. He gets the ball out so fast. It's like you can't give him that time if you're the Seahawks defense. So I think this is another game that actually comes down to defense and which team can execute the best.
And I think that's key right there, because I'm with you. I think it comes down to defense. I think it comes down to pass rush. They both are like top 5 in sacks this season. They both have really good pass rushes. But who do you trust more if the defense is coming after them? Is it Stafford, who is absolutely balling this year with 25 touchdowns and 2 interceptions? Yeah. I will say normally Stafford throws a bunch of interceptions. He's known for turnovers, but this year he has just eliminated them. So if he starts to turn over the ball and it goes back to, his old ways, then yeah, they could lose this game. But I'm going to trust. This is even my hate for Sam Darnold. I'm just going to trust Matthew Stafford more than Sam Darnold if I have to make a pick in a game that I think is going to be close. Sam Darnold does have 10 turnovers this season. It's the 6th most in the league. He does make stupid mistakes. And it's really just JSN for guys that you can trust on that offense right now until Rashid Shaheed gets involved. But with Stafford, he has Puka. And he has Devontae Adams. And the running game for the Rams is so much more trustworthy than Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet. With Kyron Williams and now Blake Corum getting involved, they've been great.
I agree.
So I think all of those things together, I'm going with the Rams.
And that's fair. I think the Devontae Adams, I don't know if they came out and said he's good to go for this week, but I know he left.
Oldest man injury ever. He was running, nothing happened. He just starts holding his back. Like, yeah.
That's how I feel sometimes.
Always.
Yeah. So, I mean, hopefully that's not anything that's going to keep him.
They said he could
limited.
come back in, but they're already winning by so much, so they didn't.
Gotcha. Yeah. So that was my only concern too on offense for the Rams. But I think this is going to be a dogfight. I really do.
It's going to be a good game. Neither of these two teams have trailed in a game since week 6.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be only the 7th matchup all time in the Super Bowl era between two teams who have not trailed in each of the last 3 games.
Wow.
Yeah. This is how rare it is. Fun times. It's actually going to be only the 3rd regular season game
Huh.
in the Super Bowl era since 1966. Only the 3rd regular season game.
Wow.
I just impressed myself with that now.
You're so impressive.
All right, let's move on to the next game. Chargers, Jaguars. After talking about all those exciting games, this one kind of seems lackluster, but it is 2 teams with a winning record. The Chargers are 7-3. The Jaguars are 5-4. This was the team that you brought up at the end of last week's show, saying that they're pretenders. Both of our teams that we said pretenders, they look pretty good this week. Like I said the Broncos. I know they won, but I said they were going to win, and they only won by 3 points against the Raiders.
Yeah.
They look terrible.
True.
Anyways, we're both picking the Chargers in this game. The Jaguars are falling apart. They lost Travis Hunter, and Trevor Lawrence stinks. He's just not good.
Yeah, I mean, he's not the quarterback that I want to have for sure.
Well, it's their quarterback for a long time because they paid him all this money for no reason.
Oh, I know. I think the thing is the first half of the game last week against Houston, they looked good. I mean, honestly, they were.
Well, the Texans just look bad.
Okay, yes. But the second half, y'all, specifically the fourth quarter, the Jaguars, and I'm going to talk more about Houston later, but they fell apart. Like even Liam Cohen after the game was like,
he was so mad.
He was like, it's almost like he had nothing to say because it was like, you can't reason this. But yeah, they just fell apart. I think Travis Etienne has been not the Travis Etienne we've known in the past. He's been fine. And that's about it. I don't think that's going to change any the rest of the season. The Chargers looked really good last week against the Steelers, which I said was going to happen. They really did. And I was worried because we've talked all season long about the offensive tackles being out for the Chargers, and they looked like they didn't miss a beat last week.
Do you think that's going to hurt them like down the stretch in the playoffs?
Sure.
But against these teams like the Steelers and the Jaguars.
Right. Yeah. It's not a problem. And so there's no reason the Chargers shouldn't go in, dominate this game early, and it be, I mean, I don't know what the spread is, but it's got to be pretty, because of the Jaguars record, I don't know if it's that.
It's not. I mean, they're only 3-point favorites. So
the Chargers
-3. Yeah, I'm taking that. I'm taking it.
Oh, I think they win by at least 10 points.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
The Jaguars over they've lost 3 of their last 4 games. They're averaging just 19.5 points per game since week 6, allowing 30 points per game since week 6. And the Chargers have won each of the last 3 games. And they're just a much better team now. And also they have the whole thing where the last time I don't know if you remember this playoff game. It was just a couple years ago.
Probably not.
It's the last time that these two teams met. It was in the 2022 wildcard round. And
yes, Justin Herbert's never won against Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, well,
they've only met twice, but still.
Yeah, but the Chargers had a 27-0 lead with 1 minute left in the first half. 27-0. And the Jaguars came back and won.
Wow, that's embarrassing.
Because Trevor Lawrence threw 4 interceptions in the beginning of that game.
That's some Jaguars stuff right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it was the opposite this time. The Chargers were up 27-0 and fell apart.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So the Chargers have that too, or the, revenge.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert. Anyways, yeah, we're both going with the Chargers. Chiefs, Broncos. I feel like people are going to be excited for this game. I'm not. I think it's going to be a super low scoring game and super boring.
Okay.
I'm going with the Chiefs. I don't feel great about it, but you're going with the Broncos.
Yeah.
I do think this is a coin flip.
Okay.
And I brought up last week, I think the Broncos are pretenders. I think they showed that against the Raiders, only being able to win 10-7, and they're playing at home. But so they won by 3 points against the Raiders. They won by 3 points against the Texans. And it took, I think if CJ Stroud played that whole game, that wouldn't have happened. And then they did beat up on the Cowboys. Cool. They only could win by 1 point against the Giants, and they had to make a huge comeback. They only won by 2 points against the Jets. These are all just since week 6. They have not been impressive to me whatsoever. Now, the Chiefs, they've been up and down this year too, but I trust Patrick Mahomes so much more. Mahomes has been fantastic. His record against the Broncos, I think he's lost like one game against the Broncos in his career.
Mhm.
And Andy Reid and Mahomes coming off a bye, unbeatable.
Not this week. The games in Denver. Broncos are 5-0 at home.
Mhm.
Chiefs 1-3 on the road this year. So
Okay.
they have just not been good on the road. Broncos have been really good at home. I think both of these teams are teams that start slow. At least this season, we know the Broncos are this or Bo Nix rather is this comeback win in the fourth quarter quarterback this year. The difference is the Broncos rush is going to stress Mahomes out. I think he's going to be stressed. So he's going to run the ball. He's going to run with the ball a lot, which is
take us
actually
over in rushing.
which is actually an advantage, I think, for the Broncos, because that means he's not throwing to Worthy, to Kelsey, to Rashee Rice, right? He's not getting the ball out, so he's not getting major yards. I think as long as they keep a quote unquote spy, I think that's what they call it, like somebody that's watching the quarterback, right?
Mm.
As long as the Broncos make sure that whoever's rushing, they've got somebody to take care of Mahomes, I don't see the Chiefs being able to score a lot of points. And so that just means that the Broncos, they just have to score a few more.
But can they? I mean, over the last 2 weeks, they have 22 total points.
Well, listen, they've gotta have-
they have 28.
Cortland Sutton has to be more involved.
And he's not going to be against the Chiefs defense. The Chiefs defense is pretty solid. I know they let the Bills score 28 points, but before that, they held the Raiders to 0 points. They didn't let them score a touchdown like the Broncos did. And then held the Commanders to 7 points, held the Lions to 17 points the week before that. Their defense is coming along now. They struggled on the road against the Bills, but I just, Bo Nix and this offense does not look good.
Well, and J.K. Dobbins is kind of they're not really, nobody's really sure. But I still think the Broncos have the edge here. And to be fair, maybe I'm just picking the Broncos for wishful thinking because I can't stand the Chiefs and I'd love to see them lose another game.
Oh, yeah.
But
I'd rather the Broncos win. Yeah,
well, sure, but I really do believe the Broncos have a really good chance to take this game.
If they do, they have a really good chance to win the whole division for once.
Oh yeah,
because that would put them 4 games up over the Chiefs with a win against the Chiefs. That would be insane. But you brought up that the Broncos are 5-0 at home. Those games are against the Titans, the Bengals without Joe Burrow, the Giants, the Cowboys, and the Raiders. And again, they were all pretty close besides the Bengals game.
A win's a win. I'm just saying.
A win. I'm just saying. They
Win's
haven't
a
faced
win.
anybody good. But no, Pat Surtain is interesting too for my side.
True.
All right, Bears, Vikings, another divisional game. And right now, the Bears are in second place.
Wild.
In the NFC North over the Packers, which I think is hilarious. The Packers are in third place. It won't last long. And then the Vikings are in last place, but they're 4-5. I mean, they're not far off of being competitive in this division. The Bears are 6-3. I'm actually going to take the Vikings. You're going to take the Bears.
Mm-hmm. I am. Yeah. I hate to say it, but I'm very proud of Caleb Williams. I really gave him a lot of grief the beginning of the season. I said he is not the guy. And you know what? I take it back. Well, I don't know that he's the guy. I'm not going to go that far. But I think they've had enough time, he and Ben Johnson together, to kind of work out some kinks, right? In the offense. Now, he came back. He won that game last week. I had him in fantasy, so I was real happy about it because I think at halftime he had about negative 17 points. He didn't, but it felt that way. So, did that game have more to do with Jackson Dart leaving the game and then the poor Giants having to play Russell Wilson, LOL? Maybe, right? Maybe. But I think the resilience he showed, I was very proud. I was like, okay, good for you, dude. So I think for the Vikings to have a chance in this game, they cannot turn the ball over as much as they have. I mean, they just simply can't. And I don't know. I think the Bears, they're clicking. They're figuring it out on offense, and their defense is good.
The Bears defense is good?
Decent.
Are they?
Is that a better word for you?
They're terrible.
I don't think they're terrible. What number? Do you know what number they are ranked?
Yeah, they're allowing the 5th most points per game in the league. They're ranked 28th.
Yes, but do you know what that means?
They're
That
ranked-
just means you have to score more points.
They're ranked 28th in points per game allowed, 27th in total yards per game allowed, 26th in passing yards per game allowed, 24th in rushing yards per game. And they're doing all this. They're allowing all that while still they have the most takeaways in the league. That's cool, but takeaways are very sporadic
True.
and they can be lucky sometimes.
Well, and they
And-
don't translate to points necessarily, right?
But the
So-
fact that they're so bad on defense with all those numbers and they're getting those turnovers, it's like almost impossible. So
Sure.
no, they're not a good defense. And that's why I'm taking the Vikings to win. It's not because I think the Vikings are good. I don't think JJ McCarthy is playing well. I do not believe in him right now as a franchise quarterback. I'm not ready to say he's not or a bust. He's barely played in the NFL. But the Vikings defense is what I'm going to go with here. They have gave Lamar Jackson, who I know the Ravens beat them, but Lamar Jackson and the Lions offense, they gave them trouble over the last 2 weeks. Those are two of the best offenses in the league. So I know Caleb Williams came through in the fourth quarter last week. I just don't trust Caleb Williams like I trust Lamar Jackson and Jared Goff, especially with the way that the Vikings are going to come at him and attack him. So that's why I'm going with the Vikings. Now, the Vikings are favorites, 3-point favorites. I do think it'll be a slightly close game, but I would take the -3 for the Vikings, and you take the +3 for the Bears.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Another divisional game, Bengals versus Steelers. Dad, yes, she is going against the Steelers
I was literally going to say, I'm sorry, Pat.
because she just refuses to take the Steelers. But I mean, it's won her a lot of games recently. So I'm taking the Steelers, and you're taking the Bengals. And I get it. The Steelers have lost 3 of the last 4 games after starting 4-1. But the Bengals defense is so incredibly bad. And I think after being embarrassed on Thursday Night Football against them a few weeks ago and allowing 33 points and losing 33-31, they'll figure some stuff out. And they're going to win.
That's all you have to say
No,
about
I
your
am more.
Steelers. Well, sure.
I am more, but
sure
you, can go.
do.
I'm letting you go.
No, that's so nice of you. You're so generous. Here's the thing. This is a really big game in this division, right? The Ravens are getting hot when they need to. So Steelers are getting cold at a really bad time. And then you've got the Bengals just kind of sitting there, right? They've won a few games. They're not doing great. But then you get news like, hey, your franchise quarterback might be coming back in a few weeks. I think coming off the bye week, that puts a lot of momentum under them and is like, hey, y'all, if we can win some games, it could get exciting. Okay. So
I don't think they knew that Joe Burrow was close to coming back last week when they lost to the Jets, and they weren't like, when did they just lose to the Jets?
they were on bye week
They were on
last
bye.
week.
But the week before the bye, they lost to the Jets.
Okay. So
you don't think they were trying to win then? And they still couldn't stop the Jets who can't do anything?
I do believe they didn't know
They
that
made
he was.
Justin Fields look good.
I do believe that they didn't know he was coming. I do believe. I don't know. Here's the thing: the Steelers. This for me is more about momentum at this point. The Steelers. I'm gonna say it. Were garbage last week, and I told you. Do not play DK Metcalf, and if any of you played him, that's on you.
Because play him this week against the Bengals.
Because I told you he was gonna be bad. Okay. And he was. And guess what? Aaron Rodgers had the worst game, felt like, of his life, which, quite frankly, I loved watching. Because he's so, like, to me, he's so haughty. And I just like him, just every time he threw it, and then they showed him on the camera saying expletives. I loved it. I was just like, give me more camera on Aaron Rodgers when he does something dumb. Like, was living for it, right? I think he's going to try to come in and be like, I'm Aaron Rodgers. And I think he's going to throw some interceptions. I really do. He is.
That's not who Aaron Rodgers is, though.
It is.
He gets mad and he's going to play well.
Okay. Well, I don't think he is. So I'm just going to say that. I think the Bengals are going to try to get their lives together, grab some wins for Joe Burrow to come back, and they're going to win this game.
I want to put into context how bad the Bengals defense are.
Go ahead.
They're allowing 33.3 points per game this season. That is the most points per game allowed in a single season since the 1966 Giants.
Okay. Go. You keep going.
And then they're allowing 426 total yards per game. That's the second most in a single season in the Super Bowl era, behind only the 2012 Saints.
Here's my question.
Mhm.
To who? To who is Aaron Rodgers going to get 400 whatever points?
I think
One man,
J-
DK Metcalf.
But Jalen Warren in this first game had 158 scrimmage yards, and Mike Tomlin just came out saying they need to feed him more. They're going to destroy him. Pat Freiermuth always absolutely destroys Bengals every single game of his career.
Okay.
I just picked him up already off waivers. You can't go get him. And I will be starting him in fantasy.
Why do I need him?
Over Sam Laporta.
You know who
I'm starting him over Sam
That's a
Laporta.
terrible decision.
It's not. Pat Freiermuth destroys the
You
Bengals
don't
every
wanna
single time.
win fantasy. Oh, I love it. In our league, please tell me it's our
It's
league.
our league.
I
Now you're
can't-
making me nervous about it.
Oh,
I'm going to do it still.
okay.
He destroys the Bengals
Okay.
every single
I
time.
hope he does for you.
And the Bengals are the worst against tight ends this year. And then DK Metcalf will be just fine against this Bengals defense. And they have Calvin Austin and Roman Wilson.
Well, that's fine. I
They'll
mean,
figure it
yeah,
out.
DK's going to get touches this game. I'm not saying he's not.
There's no way if the Steelers go into this game and let Jamar Chase just get 23 targets again and have no answer to cover him whatsoever, then Mike Tomlin needs to be fired on the spot.
I'm telling you, T. Higgins,
They can have
Jamar
good games,
Chase,
but if Jamar Chase is able to be open on every single play and get 23 targets
they're
again,
going to ball.
then Terrell Austin already needed to be fired, the DC, and Mike Tomlin needs to be fired on the spot if that happens.
They're
today.
gonna
If they have
ball.
No game plan.
Oh, I hope you're not
You
working during this game. We have to watch it together because I can't wait.
They can ball out with a couple big plays.
Every ridiculous thing that Aaron Rodgers does, I'm going to
Okay.
it's
Well,
it's going to be so much fun. Bengals
The
are
Steelers
winning.
are 5.5 point favorites.
Nope.
So you would take the
I wouldn't take it.
you would take the plus 5.5 for the Bengals, obviously.
It's going to be a close game. I'm
Yeah.
not saying they're going to go blunt.
So you would just take the Bengals money line just for them to win, and that's plus 205. So you'd make pretty good money.
yeah,
Yeah,
wish we could do that here in Tejas.
you could do it on Underdog.
I
They're not. Even
don't need to
sponsor.
know. I don't need to know.
Okay,
Yeah.
you can actually do it on Prize Picks. No, only on Underdog.
Okay.
Sorry, Prize Picks. I like.
How do we
YouTube.
get a sponsor?
Yeah,
Like,
we could-
hey.
hey, Underdog.
Anybody know Underdog?
Hey, what you doing?
We'll work on it. We'll
Yeah,
work on
yeah,
it.
49ers Cardinals. So many divisional games this
A
week.
lot.
And you are actually siding with me. 49ers. We're both taking the 49ers.
Yeah.
The 49ers have won every other game since week 3. They've been struggling. They have too many injuries
Yeah.
to actually probably compete this year.
but not
but-
against the Cardinals.
Not against the Cardinals and not in their next few games. I mean, their next 4 games are against the Cardinals, against the Panthers, against the Browns, and against the Titans.
Yeah.
And they have a bye in there too.
Mhm.
So really nice upcoming schedule for them. I still think they make the playoffs because their schedule is so easy,
Mhm.
but their defense is something to worry about long term.
Mhm.
They just don't have the pieces.
Mhm.
But the Cardinals, they have nobody.
Right.
Marvin Harrison Jr., we didn't bring this up in the beginning.
Appendicitis.
He had to go emergency surgery. He's on IR. So he's out this week.
IR?
Yeah, he went on IR. He's out the next 4 weeks.
Oh gosh, I
Yeah.
thought it was just this week. Wow.
No,
Okay.
he's out.
I read that wrong.
So they have no running back, and they have no. I mean, they don't really have it. Trey McBride, that's her guy,
Yes.
and Jacoby Brissett will still be starting because they put Kyler Murray on IR, so he doesn't even have a chance to come back. And their defense is fine, but not good enough. I think the 49ers handle this. We'll see if Brock Purdy can come back and if he's a starter, but I don't think it matters who's the starter in this game.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey will do his thing. Ricky Pearsall should probably be back. George Kittle.
Well, and
And-
Mac Jones finally figured out how to throw the ball to Kittle, which was very exciting
was
last
great.
week.
was
So it
great.
was so great.
Yeah.
It was really great. So yeah, 49ers.
49ers. Let's see what their line is really quick. 49ers are only 3-point favorites. Take it.
Oh, easy.
-3. Yep.
Take it.
Texans versus the Titans.
Divisional game.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Another divisional game. The Texans are 4-5, trying to claw their way back into playoff contention. I don't think they have a chance for the division with the Colts being 8-2,
Oh, no.
but they could still fight their way into the playoffs. The Titans, however, cannot. They're 1-8 in garbage. So the Texans should be able to handle business, right? We
Yes.
both agree. Now
Yes.
talk about your Texans.
I just want to take a moment for them because here's the deal. I watched a lot of after Sunday, commentary and such. When I tell you I was so disappointed by the lack of talk around the Texans comeback, and I get it. They're playing the Jaguars. Like, it wasn't like they blew out the Bills, right? Or whatever, but it was a very big game for them, and they did so good. And like, maybe I'm biased, probably, given my background and my shirt, but they played so well. It was a game that everybody counted them out because Davis Mills is playing. Even you counted them out, right? And I still picked them, and I was like, I think they can do it, I'm very proud of them. I think if as long as they can continue to build on this momentum, I'm very excited about it. They're going to win this game against the Titans. I think it's a great game to go on the road and play in Tennessee. And I would love to see Woody Marks just continue. He played really well last week. I want them to continue to feed him the ball this week against the Titans.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely taking the Texans as well because it's the Titans, but also the Texans could be on the up and up. I won't spoil your little thing at the end, but the Texans, the offense looks like it's coming together over the last few weeks, right? Even with TJ Stroud a couple weeks ago against the 49ers, they looked like they were coming together. They struggled a bit against the Broncos, but everyone does. The Broncos are a great defense. So come out against the Jaguars with Davis Mills and do that. They have a lot of young pieces that they're finally like meshing. They're learning each other, right? And Woody Marks and Jaden Higgins and Jalen Knoll, like a lot of young guys. So if they can keep progressing and keep getting better and the offensive line can keep gelling, their defense is so incredibly good and has been all year long.
Yeah.
But the Texans have lost 4 games in which they allowed 20 or fewer points. 20 or fewer points. Like the defense did their job. That's the most losses in the NFL this season. So if their offense can just start clicking, they will put it together.
And they're starting to.
Yeah, they are. So I really like the Texans. They are 6.5-point favorites, and I think they blow out the Titans.
I would love to see it. I think they're due for a blowout.
Yeah. Cowboys versus the Raiders. We are both taking the Cowboys. I really wanted to try to consider the Raiders, but I don't think I can because I think this is going to be a very, very emotional game for the Cowboys with Marshawn Nealon passing away during their bye week. He was only 24 years old. Really, really, really sad story. So I think the defense, who they've been struggling this year, I think they're going to really play their hearts out for Nealon. And the offense has been great. They've been a little bit down the last couple weeks before the bye, but they had the bye. Then they have this emotional thing. I think they're going to come and play their hearts out for Nealon. And then also they traded for Quinnen Williams during the bye too. That has to give the defense a bit of a spark.
Right.
There's a lot there. So I do think the Cowboys come through, even on the road where they don't always play their best, but I think they will this week.
Well, sure. And I think too, I mean, they have George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. There's no reason they won't score the ball against the Raiders. And like you said, on defense, they picked up
Quinnen Williams.
And so I think that's going to give them the edge. And I think this is easily a Cowboys win.
Yeah. So they are 3.5-point favorites. And unless Genty can go off, and I don't think that's the case because he hasn't this year, and I don't think it's his fault. The offensive line is terrible. And they lost the Raiders lost another offensive piece and Jackson Powers, their center. So unfortunate for sure. Jets, Patriots. I mean, this is a Thursday night game, unfortunately for us.
Right.
Normally, I like to start with the Thursday night game earlier, but it's so bad. I just buried it in here. I mean, there's no way the Patriots aren't winning. Garrett Wilson's not playing. Justin Fields can't even throw for 60 yards in a game. I know the Jets have won the last 2 games against the Bengals and the Browns.
52 yards last week.
It's insane.
Yeah, that was
because they had a punt return and a kick return back before even Fields had to touch the field. But the Patriots are killing it. They are on a 7-game win streak. Now, a lot of games, I will say, were easy opponents, but they showed up against Buccaneers last week and played all out. There's no Garrett Wilson, no Quinnen Williams, no Sauce Gardner. And like I said, Justin Fields can't throw or do anything.
Well, it's in New England as well.
And the Patriots have such a good run defense. Like,
right.
There's just, if somehow the Jets win this game, how? Like, the NFL is so messed up if this happens.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, the Jets traded away their entire defense. I don't think they're hoping to win many more games this season.
Let's see what the line is. 12.5 points. And I take it.
Yeah, I'd probably take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Commanders, Dolphins in Madrid. First NFL game ever in Spain.
Yeah.
And they get the Commanders, Dolphins.
It can only go up from here. Spaniards.
Now, this might be a lot of points, It could be a fun offensive game.
You could. Yeah.
And the Dolphins have won 2 of their last 3 games.
Yep.
By 17 points or more in both of them.
Yep.
So they're looking better. They beat the Falcons and they beat the Bills. That they lost big in between to the Ravens, but they're the Ravens and it was with Lamar.
Mhm.
So maybe they're figuring stuff out. The Commanders, on the other hand, have not figured anything out.
Well, they're hurt. Don't say they haven't figured anything out. Everyone and their mother is hurt.
So it's for the 49ers, and you don't give them any slack. And they haven't lost
I've
5 straight games.
I've given them a lot of slack this year. Thank you very much. I mean, you don't see me picking the Commanders. I mean, we both are picking the Dolphins to win this game. I think they just have way too many, I don't want to say weapons offensively. That's dramatic because they have Jalen Waddle, who I think will have a great game. So definitely play him in fantasy. Honestly, the rest of the season, I'm just going to put that out there. But yeah, I mean, the Commanders, they just looked so sad last week. Marcus Mariota is just not it. He and Deebo Samuel cannot connect at all. And that's really his only option with Terry McLaurin out. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt has been uninspiring, to say the least, as a rookie starting running back.
We were all excited for Bill, but now he's back to Ja'Cory.
Yeah.
You don't get the fun name Bill.
That's right. He could potentially have an okay game, but again,
Probably
I
not.
just don't think the Commanders have enough.
Devin Achane and Jalen Waddle should go off again. This Commanders defense is so incredibly bad. But the fun storyline here is that Marcus Mariota and Tua Tagovailoa will meet for the first time in their NFL careers. And Mariota was his little mentor growing up. They went to the same high school. Mariota was 5 years older, but they met when Tua was a little 4th grader at the high school.
Is that like 9 years old?
Yeah,
Ooh.
at the high school football camp, and I guess Mariota just kind of took him under his wing and was his little mentor. They were both born in Hawaii, in Honolulu, and they both went to St. Louis High School. They're both drafted top 5 overall in the draft. They were actually the first pair of quarterbacks drafted in the top 5 in the common draft era from the same high school that weren't brothers. So the other, so one of 2, I should say. So the other 2 were Eli Manning and Peyton Manning. They were just literally one of 2. Those are the only 2 that do it.
Oh, wow.
So very cool.
That weren't brothers.
Very cool. And this will be the second matchup between starting quarterbacks, both from Hawaii all time. Weirdly enough, the first one ever was just a couple weeks ago between Dylan Gabriel and Tua Tagovailoa. So,
yeah, interesting.
So 2 are happening now when it's never happened before prior to 2025.
Cool.
Aren't they so fun? These little notes. I love
notes
them.
are so fun.
I know. And I wrote this one.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. But yeah, the Commanders defense stinks, and I think the Dolphins win.
Well, they've got like also like 6 of their starting defensive linemen out. So
yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, they'll be fine next year. They'll come back without injuries.
Okay.
We got another divisional game, but not a great one. Ravens versus the Browns. Now it is in Cleveland, where they play much, much better.
Sure.
Maybe they can make it a close game. Their game earlier this year was in Baltimore, and the Ravens destroyed them 41-17. I just don't, the offense can't do anything. So, and the Ravens defense has gotten so much better.
Yeah, Dylan Gabriel is not it.
He's not, and they're not going to, when are they going to give Shedeur Sanders a chance?
I don't think
What are you waiting
at
for?
This point. So
For
what does
what?
that tell you? Does that tell you he's really that bad?
I just don't think he is. I think they're being stubborn. It can't be any worse, right? You're losing anyways.
It's
You're
true.
2-7 anyways.
It's true. Yeah.
You drafted both of these guys. You wasted the picks. You're trying to get, and also if he does suck, great. You will get an earlier pick.
Right.
You gotta see what you have in
It's
him.
true. You're losing games anyway. So
You gotta see what you have
I'm
in
with
him.
you.
I just know they're gonna wait until the 49ers game and play Shedeur Sanders, and then he's gonna come out and kill the 49ers. I just know it's in 3 weeks from now.
What's the
It's
spread on this one?
it's 7.5 points, not as much as you would think. Well, the Ravens are on the road. Maybe
And the Browns are at home, so yeah, I probably wouldn't take that just because this could be one of those quote unquote trap games.
Yeah, I
But
don't
you're
think
just-
it is, but
Yeah, you're just hot on the Ravens though right now.
Yeah.
So
the Ravens are going to win, and I do expect it to be by more than 7.5. But it is on the road. It's a divisional game. It's a risky one to take. Packers Giants. This should have been a fun one if Jackson Dart was playing, because the Packers, I mean, their last 2 games, they lost 16-13 against the Panthers, and that was a home game. They lost 2 straight games at home, 16-13, and then against the Eagles 10-7.
That was trash.
But their offense has been trash the last couple weeks.
Mhm.
But against the Giants defense is so incredibly bad.
Mhm.
And then no Jackson Dart. Jameis Winston can have those miracle games and like throw for like 5 touchdowns. But the Packers defense is still so good. I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the Packers.
Yeah, I mean, my literal only note is to laugh at Russell Wilson at this for this game. I don't think, unfortunately, the Giants have lost. I think they've won 2 games. Is that right?
Mhm.
So this is not going to be a close game. Even
Oh, I think it'll be close. They are 7-point favorites of Packers. I wouldn't take that. I would take the Giants +7. Especially if Dart was playing, but
yeah, Jameson Williams though is kind of a wild card. So
Winston,
Winston, yes, that one's tricky.
yeah, because he literally could throw 5 touchdowns or 5 interceptions or both.
Or both.
Yeah, we'll see. I wouldn't take the spread, but I am going to take the Packers to win against the Giants. Now, Panthers, Falcons. This is our last game. We actually differ here. I'm going to take the Falcons. You're going to take the Panthers.
I am. I have loved watching Rico Dowdle the last few weeks. They finally decided he's the guy, which has been working out really well for the Panthers. They won 30-0 last time these two teams played. 30-0. That's just embarrassing. You can't even make a field goal. That's embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
The Panthers have also won 4 of the last 6 games, which they're going on a little, dare I say, run. So I think they have the momentum going into this game. The Falcons have lost 4 straight games. I think that's going to continue. The Falcons just can't figure it out. Like they're just, I don't know what's going on over there, but they just cannot figure it out. So for all those reasons, I'm taking the Panthers.
Yeah, the Falcons are struggling. They were so close to winning that Colts game. They're so close to winning the Patriots game. And I do think both the Patriots and Colts are much better opponents than the Panthers. So that's why I'm taking the Falcons. Bryce Young is still a bad quarterback. He ranks 31st among 33 quarterbacks in passer rating this year. It's not like at the end of last year, we're like, there's hope. There is no hope. Like, he's not the guy. All right. And they're holding on strong. They have a good record. Their defense is playing much better than we ever expected. But Young now has 150 or fewer passing yards in 5 games this season. It's the most among starting quarterbacks because Justin Fields hasn't played enough games yet, or else he would be the most. But I just don't trust in Young. It's not like I love Michael Penix Jr., but I do believe in Bijan and those weapons and Drake London. Like they'll be able to get it done. Now Rico Dowdle should be able to have his day, and if Rico Dowdle can destroy the Falcons because they are allowing the 4th most rushing yards per game this year, then I can see it being the Panthers. I do expect this to be a very close game, but I'm going to lean the Falcons actually for the reason you brought up, because the Panthers destroyed them 30-0. They're going to come out and be angry, and they're not going to let that happen again.
Okay.
All right.
I still think they lose, probably not 30-0, hopefully, but for Falcons fans.
Yeah.
But.
All right, that is it for our game previews. We still have our 2-minute warning, which we will give you our team that we think will catch the most fire for the second half of the season.
2-minute warning.
All right, Nycole, who do you got? Catching fire. They're going to go on a great run.
I struggled to make this pick. Well, I didn't struggle. I made the pick. And then I was like, people are just going to think I'm biased. But I really do think there's a chance. Okay. You're saying there's a chance. Okay. It's the Texans. And I know you're like, oh, you're all about to. Here's the thing. Looking at the rest of their schedule, CJ Stroud coming back. Like you said earlier, they're starting to figure it out offensively. We already know their defense is so good. So 8 games left in the season. They have to basically win 6. And I know that's a lot of games, but there's some gimmies in there, okay? I need them to win and steal one against the Colts, who have started to look worse as a team. You know, they weren't like this, like, wow, team from the beginning of the season. And then I need them to either win against the Bills and or Chiefs, which I think, honestly, the way that both of those teams have played this year is a valid option. So for that reason, I do think the Texans can make a little run here at the end of the season and win 6 out of their 8 games left and, see where they're at that point.
I think they can as well. I'll give you that. I think there's a chance.
I appreciate that.
Now, I'm going to go with the Ravens. It's an obvious one. I've been saying it for the last few weeks, but I did call that they were going to go on a 9-win winning streak. And since then, they've been on a 3-game winning streak. And yes, I'm wearing a Steelers sweatshirt. This is not what I want to happen. It's what I think will happen. I would love the Ravens to lose out the rest of the year. That would be fantastic for me. But they get the Browns, the Jets, the Bengals. We'll see if Joe Burrow can come back, but it would be his first game back. And even with Burrow there, the defense is so bad that I don't think it matters. The Steelers, the Bengals again. And then it gets a little bit harder the last 3 games. Patriots, Packers, Steelers. But they're going to win a lot of games upcoming. I think they win the division because the Steelers are falling apart. And now, like the Ravens started 1-5, and now they're only 1 game behind the Steelers. So I think they're going to win the division. And their defense, since week 6, allowing 14 points per game, 3rd fewest in the NFL in that span after allowing 35 points per game over the first 5 weeks. But they started the season with really hard matchups, and then they lost Lamar. So they're going to catch fire because they already have started, but I don't think it's even at the tippy top of what it's going to be. It's going to like Lamar and Derrick Henry and all of them are just going to blow up and just destroy everything.
Yeah, it's a good pick.
Thank you. That is it for today's episode. We thank you all for listening. I hope I do much better on my picks this week. She has been destroying it, so keep going with her. We hope your favorite football teams win, your fantasy teams win, and we will talk to you next week. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to The Analyst in the Armchair. Don't forget to subscribe, follow us on socials, leave us a review, and comment to let us know what you'd like to hear next time.